This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
You guys, it's been a journey to get to the point of hitting record.
Good God.
I made you a strong drink. It was so strong, it melted the ice.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe those flavor profiles.
It's gin with fresh lemon juice and a berry seltzer because I just always have gin, but I don't always have vodka.
It's delicious. The berry is buried.
The berry is buried.
The berry's buried in a nice way.
Buried the lead.
But it works with the citrus, neutralizes it.
Look who's coming around. The gin just hit the veins.
I'm trying to figure out how to describe things.
You guys, okay, so we were supposed to record like an hour ago. And Grace came over, and you guys know it gets dark at 3. So it's felt like midnight.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. It's only 6:15. But Grace came over like an hour ago to record and realized we didn't have one of the cords because we've been traveling so much and there's been so many suitcases and all.
I got to figure out my systems. My systems are a little off
I
currently.
think your system should be just leave your shit here.
I know, but there is shit to be taken. The thing I didn't realize is I didn't take inventory of what I took so that we could record while we were traveling.
Yeah.
Because I have some cords at home that aren't as good as the cords I have here. And so I was like, let me take my good cords with me.
You got to travel with the good cords.
And then I forgot.
To be searched at Heathrow.
I forgot my good cords at home. And then I was like, fuck, okay, I'll either drive home or you have a Best Buy directly up your street.
A Best Buy that I frequented earlier today because I finally broke down and got a new charger for my crusty little laptop. Because what I've been doing is
Thought you were going to say you got a new laptop. I was like, it looks cute.
It's there.
You got a charger.
I think I just remembered I left the magic wand in Palm Springs.
Speaking of something that's charged.
Oh my God, I have to double check. There's no guess.
Well, I was going to maybe go down there this weekend. So,
okay, yes.
Well, we'll figure it out. And
I'll give you gloves. Sorry,
literally,
it just hit me.
Everyone in our live shows in London and Dublin, we asked the audience to write questions in a bucket, and then we would answer them on stage as the ants. And there were so many that were like, "How many vibrators is Mamrie going to leave in the UK?"
I just looked into the sun and went, oh, I put it in the bedside table and then didn't even use it because we had so many guests. I wasn't
that's pretty bold.
I didn't know if we were going to stay an extra night.
Got it.
Anyway, so I went to Best Buy earlier because I finally broke down to get a new computer charger because I've been doing the thing where I use the block for the laptop. But then the cord I've been using phone cords. Now that they're the same.
Yeah.
And Chip's like, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah.
I see a little lightning bolt. I say, we're in.
I know. That's same. We literally, because we're going to talk about shopping and buying things because I went nuts over the Black Friday weekend.
I can't wait to hear.
Bought a new hairdryer. Haven't bought one in probably 10 years.
Girl.
Our hair dryer. I asked Elliot. I was like, should we get a new hairdryer? Because it looks like the one that we have.
Oh, because he uses one.
Well,
those lustrous locks.
We both use the same one.
Okay.
And have used it for years. Literally going on a decade. And it looks like the back, there's a little wire netting that goes over the back. It is all crumpled up.
Yeah.
Not of a human that is just the overuse of this machine.
Oh.
It looks like it's going to explode in our hands any chance that
Mine's
we get.
been through hell. I got a new, and then we're going to circle back to the cord and then your Best Buy experience. But I got a new hairdryer.
Yeah.
Mine finally went kaput.
Oh, this one didn't go kaput, but we were living on the edge.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
I dried my hair and I went, what?
I know.
I was like, this took a fifth of the time.
This morning, dried my hair. I was like, holy shit. For $40. This is because sometimes hair dryers are $400.
Well, I don't get down with that. Even when I go visit Jacqueline and she has one of those. What is the one that
I have?
What's
nice
the wand?
one.
What's the wand thing though that everyone? The Dyson hair wand thing.
The air, whatever.
And
it's
$1 million, and I still don't understand it. I'm like, you know what I have? I have my little Con Air.
Yep.
Which is hilarious that's also a film.
Yep.
I have my little Con Air. $20. It's the recommended by Amazon $20 thing.
The one we had before
It'll
was
last
this
me a decade.
little red Conair thing that just collects.
A sexy little red one.
It's a little red rocket, and it did its job. And Elliot was like, "It looks like we have taken a stance on not buying a hairdryer for some reason.
Yeah.
That like it costs $20 for a hairdryer. Why are we just not getting a new one? So got one.
I spend more money on cheese every day.
Exactly. This morning, dried my hair. It was amazing. Went to a thing, came back. I looked at Elliot. I said, I tried the new hairdryer. He said, me too. Wow. It's like, game changer.
If you're
what have we
listening,
been denying ourselves?
if you're listening and you've been putting this off, even though you use the world's cheapest hairdryer, you it's a positive change.
Yeah.
For $20. I'm telling you, I would like sit there drying my hair. And I got 5 hairs. And I would just sit there like going. And it'd take forever. I use it that first time. I go, now this is a hairdryer.
There is a bizarre dichotomy of stuff I will spend money on and stuff I'm like, there's no way I could possibly spend any money on this. And a hairdryer for some reason was where I was like, this still works. I gotta like, I walked to school in the snow kind of mentality. Like I gotta keep using this.
Totally.
But then I'll like go buy other nonsensical shit.
Here's the thing. I spent the most amount of money on food and drink.
Yeah.
I had a nice dinner last night. Dinner's over the weekend. Just went to the grocery store, spend too much money. Like I will truly.
You know what you like though?
I will spend $300 on a meal, and that would be like I'm treating a group of people type of thing.
Yeah,
I like we went to like the hibachi last like the day after Thanksgiving, and I was like, I got this, guys,
Fun.
But if you expect me to get this isn't even crazy, but like I'm a woman who's 41. I should treat myself to a facial.
I know
it's $100, but I'll spend $100 on 3 rounds of drinks for me and Chip.
No, I know. You know the
tonight immediately
getting my nails done.
Yes, we got to get back in. We got to get back in.
Well, what happened to me is that I was getting these gels, and then they wore down the the thickness of my nails, and which I think I already had post chemo. Nails that were still not fully like rock hard as nails can be. And so I've been growing them back in, which I got to figure out. I got to do some Googling on like what's the best sort of manicures to get that still maintain like the health of your nails.
Manicures. Just like regular polish.
It's a bummer because the gel manicures feel like you got some hardware on your nails.
It's the double-edged sword. It's the double-edged gel, baby. Because what you got going up here isn't doing good things for underneath there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so, you went to Best Buy.
So I went to Best Buy because it was 4 seconds away. And I was like, instead of me going 20 minutes home, 20 minutes back, and I had texted Elliot, but he was on the phone with his parents. So it's like he couldn't help bring it over. So I was like, I looked on the Best Buy website. It was like, they have it in stock. And I order from this Best Buy. It's the closest one to me all the time for all my tech. This hard drive you see right here on this table was purchased from that Best Buy up there, but it was purchased online. And then like 4 seconds later, they go, it's ready for pickup. And
so the curbside there is quicker.
Excellent.
It's quicker than an In-N-Out.
It's so excellent. You go in, you like literally walk straight to the front. So I was like, this is an efficient Best Buy. Here we go. Got in, and it's like quiet. Which it normally is.
They just
Best
did
Buy.
the big Black Friday sales.
What? I saw on I follow one of those 90s kids accounts on Instagram that's like, this is what Black Friday looked like at Best Buy in the 90s. And it's
versus
like people fighting for big screen TVs, people camping. I remember Tim and I talking about, for the fun of it, we were both home from college on Thanksgiving, to be like, should we go at 4 a.m. and camp out with everyone just for the experience of it?
Someone brought that up at Thanksgiving and was like, the internet has changed obviously very much, because remember, it used to be like there was mass hysteria to get your hands on a Tickle Me Elmo.
Remember the
Tickle Me Elmo year?
Oh my God.
Families were torn apart.
Adults were reduced to their base selves.
They were not tickling.
No, they were
no.
stabbing, shanking, fighting, all of it.
Oh no.
It was hysteria and hysterical, and now everything's online. Everything's computer.
Now nothing's crazy in person, like everything.
Right. So me going into Best Buy now, I was like, oh, the young people that work here haven't had the trauma of Best Buy's of yonder years.
The January 6th of deals.
Truly.
Like the insurrection every Friday morning.
I dare you to Google Best Buy Black Friday 1995 and see what shows up.
The last time I saw, like, I was sent a clip or it came into an algorithm, which was like several years ago. Oh, and then this fucking crazy fight happened at a Walmart on Black Friday.
Yeah.
It was my Walmart. It was the Elkin, North Carolina Walmart. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Oh my God, it's my Walmart. Mom, are you okay?
Yeah. It's, so now we fight online. But so I walked in there and it's calm as can be, quiet as can be. And I went back to the TV section and I showed the woman that was working there just like a photo of the cable. I was like, hey, do you have this Rode cable? And she was like, yeah, there's a Rode set up right there. And I'll call someone to open it for you. Because it's in a cage.
Everything is in jail.
Everything's in cages everywhere. Like they're illegal monkeys that have been purchased.
Might as well be in a Petco.
Truly. Like literal, like giant cartoonish padlocks on the outside of it, to the point that I was standing there waiting. So you're like, okay, I believe what this person said. They're calling someone and they're going to come open this up. And then I'm standing there and I'm pacing and I can't help but look like a woman that's pacing, and I'm trying to be like chill and cool, and I'm trying to look around every corner for someone in a blue polo that might be coming my way to be like, yeah, it's me and I need this, because there's a lot of cages everywhere.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the key system is. I don't know if
does everyone have every key?
Right. Is it one warlock that has all of the keys that we're waiting for? And is
you hear the old jangle coming down the aisle. You say, we got to get them.
But it's also very funny because the Best Buy live experience, the in-person experience, is not full of young people. It's all, at least just now, it's all elderly people. It's all probably post 50 plus years old, wandering around either on their phones or FaceTiming with someone showing them something that they're looking at and asking for help. So like people, employees are working to like help people out. But then I was just like, this is pretty calm. So this person tells me, okay, I called someone. 4 minutes later, someone walks by me and I say, hey, is someone coming? She's like, yep, someone called for someone to open this Rode. And I was like, okay. And
I know it's a big store, but
the woman that told me that had one arm. And I was I trust this woman.
Yeah, she's led an uphill battle.
I was like, why would this woman lie to me?
Hey, lend me a hand. Sorry. I'm going...
So I'm okay. So I was like, this woman knows what's up and I'm going to stand here. I wait another 10 minutes.
You guys.
And I'm like, I'm pacing like I'm in a cage, but I'm not.
Right?
I'm just looking at things
in a cage.
This
is the social experiment.
And literally I was just like, oh God. And the more anxious I look, the more I would never want to help that woman if I saw her when I worked at Chili's. You know, like the more this woman, if this woman came in for a gift card. So you're in a big
hoodie and stuff. You look like you're about to steal.
Right. I look like I look like a privileged woman that doesn't need any help right now. Like, let this woman suffer a little bit.
No, if I saw you from a distance with like your cool Gen Z pants and this, I would be like, this is a young teenage lad with long skater hair trying to steal, and he's nervous.
No, that was the other demo that was there. It was either extremely old people that did not understand technology and need to be walked through it, or young people with Apple, whatever the big air headphones are, with like gangly hair, just sort of walking through like probably high on a Tuesday night, just going through.
There's some good skating in that parking lot.
But also, I get it. Like, if you're into tech and you're just like, I need something to do outside of my house, I'll go walk around Best Buy because no one's gonna bother you.
Here's the
literally
thing.
No one came up to
Okay, so two things. One, I think it was all older employees because I think they probably got the actual holiday off to spend with their family, while the younger employees were like, "Fuck it, I'll work." And now it's their shift. So
there was a lot of young people there. So that's
employees.
Yeah, those are the people. So that's why I was like,
I'm not following this story.
But that's what I mean. Like I was like, these young kids don't give a fuck about me needing some cables right now. And also, when you're in I've worked in systems of employment where you need to ask someone else to get something for you. Like at Olive Garden and Chili's, it would be like, oh, I can't actually get you that gift card. I need to call a bartender to get that.
Right.
And if a bartender didn't give a fuck, they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And you waited forever. So
there's a chain of that in every possible scenario of employment.
And so no one heeds any responsibility. So it's like,
she's heated, y'all.
No one gives a shit. And so you're just sitting there being like, oh, now I'm going to get progressively more annoying because I now need to, I can't leave this cage.
Right.
Because if someone comes up and opens it and I'm not, or is coming up to open it and I'm not here, fuck me.
So you feel like you gotta have one hand on it, like hand on a hard body, and like Stretch Armstrong your way to the Geek Squad.
Exactly. And then also, not everyone that works there wears those bright blue polos.
Listen, okay, here's what I'll say. Is that Grace...
Mamrie called the store.
I did. I called the store. Is Grace texts me and sends me a picture of the cage in which she's attached to.
I need you to understand, because I was like, now this is getting to a point where I could have gone home and driven back and been there by now.
So I said,
need to tell Mamrie what's happening. I've asked 3 people right now, and they all say someone's coming to open this cage.
She said, this is insane. I've been here 20 minutes at this cage to be unlocked, and I've asked 3 people and no one has helped me. And so I go like, are you sure the cable's in there though? Because if you're waiting 20 minutes and then you still need to go home, we're telling people the podcast is going up late because it's just too dark and tired. But so anyway, so I'm like, I'm calling them. So I call the Best Buy location. Of course, it's like, if you know your extension, and if you don't, whatever. And I just go, customer service. They couldn't understand it. So I hit like, what's in stock or something. And I get an answer and I'm like, it sounds like, you know, when it gets muted and then not like someone from a call center.
Yeah.
So I go, are you in the store right now? And they go, yes, what can I help you with, ma'am? And I was like, my friend is trying to get a podcast mic, and she has been staying there for 20 minutes and has 3 people. I need someone to go help my friend right now.
Which
Silence.
sounds like a prank call.
I know. Which like is, you get the mute because it's a call center. And I go, are you there? And he was like, yes. What? And I said it again. And I was like, she's by the road mugs, RODE. Someone needs to help her. And he goes, let me transfer you to Geek Squad. And I go, oh God. And so then I wait for the Geek Squad for another 3 minutes. And then I hung up. And then you were like, someone says they're coming.
I walked over to the appliances, and there were just 2 women sitting at the desk on their phones at the appliances. And I was like, hi, I asked 20 minutes ago, 3 different people to open up this road cage.
Saga.
I just need 2 cables. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah. Someone needs to go get the keys from it. And she literally walked up, went to the front, got the keys, came back, opened it all by herself.
It's all that easy.
And then I was like, but I also get it. I get being a person that works for a company where you don't give a shit about the overarching success of this company. So you're just doing your bare minimum to get. So it's like, I don't fault anyone, but at the same time, I was like, I look so annoying in this store, but I just need these $30 cables that are for some reason locked up when these $200 cameras are sitting freely on this.
Grace, I would have punched through a flat screen. I would have been I would have taken CDs and just throwing them like throwing stars.
The funny thing is, like, so you start doing this stuff where you're like, the one-armed woman that I asked to help me the first time, she worked in the TV department. Yeah. And so I start bobbing around.
You look like you're tweaking.
I was bobbing around like in the vicinity of like her eye line.
Oh, you'd be like, yeah, see, my frustration is starting to manifest as little dance moves.
I'm still not being helped. And you told me that you were calling someone. And then...
Hey, you're not trying to buy Sudafed. You're trying to buy a friggin' podcast mic.
I'm like, I will be out of all of your hair if someone just opens this cage. And so I'm like sort of bobbing in her eye line, and she's helping these other 2 older women that are also on the phone with a third person that they're showing TVs to. And this woman starts going in the fullest detail about this TV with these 2 women.
I just bought a TV from there a month ago.
But it was to the point that I was like, is she just...
talking to her dad?
Well, is she just like talking to these women so she doesn't have to make like an eye line with me? So she's just like going autopilot on everything she knows about this TV. So she doesn't have to look at me going, Hi, it's me again. Can someone fucking open this cage?
If someone could do it, it's just despite all my rage, my road thing is still in the cage.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So this is the podcast about how we almost didn't do the podcast.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, sure, you think about the great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing, but an often overlooked secret is actually the business behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Cha-ching! Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet and the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%. I know when I try to buy something and Shop Pay is available, boom, I have paid. Meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales go. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more on Shopify. The secret's out. It's no secret. Businesses that want to grow with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout as Skims uses. Oh my God. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/weird, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/weird to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/weird.
Do y'all want to hear something that I think is cuckoo? That is that most Americans think that they're spending like $62 a month on subscriptions, but the real number is $300. That's a huge difference. And even if just a couple of subscriptions fall off your radar, those reoccurring payments you don't even know about really add up. Okay, I'm going to admit something that's very embarrassing, but there was a trend when everyone was like doing these AI photos on their Instagram. Everyone was posting them. I downloaded an app to do it. I needed a picture of me as a fairy. Guys, I forgot that it was reoccurring, and I just got hit with like $100 subscription a year later that I did not need. I hadn't opened that app in exactly a year. Managing finances is tough enough, let alone when there's secret bills hitting you that you've totally forgot about. Well, in walks Rocket Money. Rocket Money is my bouncer, my muscle, my in-between man to keep those subscriptions at bay. It's a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and can help lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Yeah, it's not all just canceling, okay? We don't have to ghost them. They will negotiate with your subscriptions to get them down lower for you. Sometimes they can get your bills down to 20%. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save, and then you ask them to negotiate for you. They deal with customer service. Woo! Now that sounds like a great idea to get those finances in order for 2025. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend $740 on a flight to somewhere cool and not on a reoccurring AI-generated image. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/TMGW. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW. But we not only got the cord, you got a backup.
I got two.
That's
of them.
forward thinking, my girl.
Well, I've been watching so much Bake Off that it's like
how are we feeling? Okay, like we're gonna do spoilers. So if you haven't watched Bake Off,
fake
do
fans.
Do a little fake fan fast forward. Yeah. Okay, how are you feeling? I know.
I kind of had a feeling. I was like,
yeah,
he's 20 years old.
I know.
It's where the entire nation and beyond is behind him. That's a lot of pressure. But then I went on because we landed back in the States on Thanksgiving afternoon.
Yeah.
So our timetables have been fucked up. So I was like waking up at 3 a.m. Like we watched Saturday morning at like 3 a.m. we watched the finale because we couldn't fall back to sleep.
Girl, we've been back a week. Has it just been a week? A week and a half?
Yeah.
we're going to bed at 10 and waking up at 7.
Good for you.
That's not what we do.
Well,
Chip is falling asleep on the couch at like 9 every night and then is so cranky when I tell him to move to bed. And then the next morning, he's like, why'd you let me go to sleep so early? I'm like, I cannot stop. That boulder is going down the mountain. What am I supposed to do? Slap you? Pour a bucket of ice on you? But so I understand the hours being really weird.
Yeah. Well, so I went deep dive into all the Instagrams of everyone because we've talked about this before.
Wait, did you get spoiled?
No. Didn't get spoiled. This was post. I was like, let me watch the finale. And then, because we've talked about this before, the greatest part of that entire program is the what have the Bakers been up to since.
The friendships that formed.
Oh my God. Nellie and Andy hanging out with their families. I was squealing at the TV at 3:30 in the morning being like, this is so great.
Yeah. She's the best.
Her Instagram, when you go on it, is like a parody of the way I think we do our Instagrams, where it's
what do you mean?
Like, it is edited in such a strange way. It'll be like photos and videos and text just sort of like all
like
over the place.
Like spreading.
Yeah, it just doesn't make it. It's like clearly she did this, and that's what's really like charming about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he works at a Michelin's. Dylan, we're talking about, works at a Michelin star
I immediately
restaurant.
looked at Chip and said, well, we got to find out where he works.
That's what the internet said too. Did you find out?
No, I said it and I didn't follow up.
Oh, well, that's the internet too. It has been looking. I don't think they've exposed it, but he also has videos on his Instagram of him and Samaya
who should talk so crazy.
I mean that vocal fry in like posh British accent.
Chip was like, might have to mute her when she comes. It drove him crazy. I was like, all she has is a Valley Girl voice in a British accent.
Yes, but
Samaya.
He was going to her university and they were picking apples off of the tree outside of her university, and they were making like apple fritters together and making like a whole little reel about it. And everyone's like, are you guys together? I went full down the rabbit hole.
Did they respond to any or like?
No, it's not
what if
clear.
They're dating.
That's what everyone speculates, but it's not clear unless it is, and I missed it. But
I knew he was young, but I didn't realize he was 20 till like 2 episodes ago.
I know. Well, when he said I was born in 1994 and we were all like record player scratch. Okay.
Georgie did better in the finale. This is not a cumulative. Is that how you say it?
Cumulative. Yeah, and that's what everyone
competition.
Is
it's on the day.
Well, people were upset about that, at least on Twitter, because I was like, what are people saying? And people were like, this used to be like, how have you done the whole season?
Oh, really?
And it's not like that now. Also, Christian, I love him.
I love him too.
So much. His design. I don't want to eat licorice flavored anything.
Licorice and strawberry? Are you fucking mad?
But that's his aesthetic. And I appreciate it. And also, he's just so sweet. And his partner, like when they do the little packages of like, here's their family, here's their personal lives, which is hardly a deep dive.
Well, here's the thing. And let me tell me if you agree. I didn't realize it until we got those packages at the end. Mm-hmm. I feel like we got a lot more of that front loaded on these seasons. And now I feel like they stopped doing it as much until the finale, just to like save money. You know what I mean? Because they don't have to send a film crew there. Because I feel like we used to get a lot more of like what their background is, and they love to garden. They play the bagpipes. They've got a sheep named Piccadilly. You know, like he's a checkers champion. We used to get all that. I felt like a lot in like the first and second episode, and I didn't feel like it was as much. So then when we showed him and his partner, I was like, oh, this endears me to you way late.
Totally. I get that. It was a strange season because one, they had that guy from the Bronx. I don't know. And then that guy from the Bronx got so sick that he couldn't be on the show anymore.
And then Noel kept just making fun of him on the last episode.
And so I was like, they have to cover their tracks on like, we let an American on the show.
Yeah.
And the American
he showed up with emphysema.
Literally, and we're in a tent and it's a super spreader event now. And it's I think they really, that's my favorite thing about the British versus the American coverage of these reality show programs is that they are so they cut around like the drama of someone's like personal medical whatever it is.
No, as opposed to
in the US.
In the US, someone like cuts their finger and it like crash zooms in and shows like blood trickling and it's like, you should probably get a tetanus shot. It's like, oh my God. And she's just like, stop the bleeding. Raise it above your head. Medic. And when there, you just see that someone might have a little tiny Band-Aid on and we don't need to go into it because it's none of our business.
He just like walks off. He's like, I can't do it anymore. They're like, okay. But like he might have found out that he had some like insane illness that we'll never know about, but we exploit it here.
Well, I'll tell you, we didn't see him for 10 weeks and then it cuts to him in the finale. He's like, it's great to be here. I was like, I forgot you came, man. You're like an extras from Goodfellas just popping into the British Bake Off.
I know, but I will say, I was like, I don't know if that enticed them on inviting more Americans.
No. Well, there is an American version.
Or there was?
No, there was. But now it's like, I think they're bringing it back in like Casey. It was like Ellie Kemper hosted it. And then it's like, it's like Casey Wilson and like a guy from Severance who that's the only thing I know him from.
I told you that. If you deep dive Google, that's the one where Paul Hollywood cheated on his wife.
Cheated on his wife. So he's no longer one of those judges. No, but I feel like Georgie deserved it. I want to know more about Dylan. Nellie is forever queen. And so I will definitely be keeping up with them. And I hope they put out some new Bake Off for the holiday. I think there are some new like Bake Off for the holidays where they put out like 2 episodes with old contestants.
Yeah. And they're doing the American celebrities in the British tent.
Oh, fun.
I think that is like at least some promo I saw for like the holidays where it's like Prue and Paul are judging and it's the guy from Severance and Casey, what's her face?
Wilson.
Right. But it's like it's like God, it's like such a random assortment of American celebrities in that tent.
Get me in there. Okay, I'm going to switch subjects.
Please do.
It's also relevant and British, at least one of them.
Okay.
Do we care about Wicked?
Right. We let off last week.
I also need to hear about the restaurant named Skewers.
Well, it's not even named. So here, a brief.
This was our to be continued last week. We can't leave them hanging because so many times I'll be like, we'll talk about that next week. And I never say it again.
So brief. Got to Prague.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant called Spiel, SPEJL, I think, or something. Someone DM'd me being like, I saw your video. You are in the vicinity of this restaurant. Went there. It is the concept. I'm like, incredible. It's skewers everywhere. So it's literally like hot, cold, sweet skewers. You walk in.
Is it like the fruits dipped in the hard candy? So you go.
No, it's literally it was the most delicious meal I think maybe we had on the whole trip.
Skewers.
Like, you walk in, it was mostly reservations. We didn't have one, so they were like, we'll put you by the window, and we were like, this is exactly where we'd love to be. Thank you so much.
We'll put you in this tiny dark corner at the bar. I'm like, ideal.
Thank you so much.
Is there a floral arrangement also blocking me?
Exactly.
So I look like I'm spying?
And she was like, just so you know, here's the English version of the menu, even though I Googled everything and was like, I know exactly what this is. She was like, you go up, you take whatever you want from the buffet.
Stop it. It's a skewer buffet?
Yeah. Skewer buffet, like breads with tops of things, full vegetarian
Breads
options.
with tops of things. What does that mean?
Like bread topped with things.
Okay. like bruschettas.
Bruschettas, but like
dips.
Get rid of the tomato and whatever. Put on like honey bruschetta. What is the fucking prosciutto? Thank you.
Bruschetta.
It was so, there were so many different items. It was like going to the best wedding that you had ever been at.
Oh, nice.
And then what you do is they give you a little like container. You put your skewers
in it,
and then they count it. But then it's a full fucking cocktail bar. So they give you full cocktail. Like bartenders come up and are like, what do you want? full cocktails, and then you just like we were in and out in like 30 minutes.
Do they count your sticks?
Yep.
Is that how you pay?
Count the sticks.
That's like conveyor belt sushi. They count
Exactly.
your plates, and the color of the plate is how much the items are. So you can be like, oh, that's a red plate though. That's like $8.
Right.
Oh, this is a green
There's
one.
some that
It's
have
$3.
2 skewers, some that have 1.
What was the best skewer you had?
Oh my God, it was all so good. It was the first night we got to Prague, so we were like tired, and it was like 4 feet away from our hotel. So
But
we
it was
were
also
like,
the first
go.
city you felt like 100 in.
Well, it was also Vienna. We felt 100 in Prague. We were we started to get a little tired, but it was like this was so great that it like I had like 6 different skewers, like to the point that I was like the first time I got a tummy ache that was my design. Like it wasn't like a.
You said I'm gonna push this further than I should on purpose.
I'm gonna hurt myself now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let all these germs hurt me. I'm gonna do it now. And so like we went to bed and I was like, ooh, I way overate in a variety. Like there were
what was the skewers?
like roast beef and Dijon and this like delicious like jam on top. And then you have like the mozzarella, basil, pesto,
the
kind
caprese.
of thing. Yeah, and then you have like what even was it? There was like
Was there a bad skewer?
not one
Not
that
a
I
single.
had, not a single one that I had, because and then there was little tiny desserts, and then there was the hot skewers, which was like Asian orange chicken, and then like hot pork belly with like rice, and so it was like this is crazy, and the way that it worked out financially was like. I don't know, probably $60 for the whole thing.
Here's the
we
thing.
like it was like an old country buffet.
Yes.
But like
That's their soup plantation.
it was so good, and it was so, and I was like, I get why this place is so
Why
popular.
don't we open one here? And I have a
Right.
name for it.
Mm-hmm.
Obscure.
Yeah. Perfect. I was just like, I don't know what the overhead is on the amount of ingredients that you need to make all of these things constantly.
Here's the thing. Sometimes, I'll be honest, I can get a little judgy about a kebab. But here is why. And I mean specifically like American cookout kebabs, not like a kebab like a kebab doner kind of thing. But like here's why. Is because growing up, my dad was always like, we would have like kebab night. You know, like I'd go and stay with him in the summer, and there was always like a rotating type, you had your classics.
Okay.
Mainly they would do like a rice, a broccoli, and a roasted chicken and like something else. Salad night. There'd be make your own pizza night with like Pillsbury dough.
Yeah.
And then kebab was also in the rotation.
Okay.
However, cooking veggie kebabs is very difficult because everything has different temps. A carrot's going to take a lot longer than a piece of onion.
Okay, so here's I think these are vertical skewers, not horizontal skewers.
Wow.
So it's like these are going into bread. These are like appetizers. These are like full on, like I'm going to do a cocktail hour at a thing, like not a
grilled skewer.
Not a grilled shrimp skewer.
It's like already cooked.
Yeah. No, these are like full on. That's what I'm saying. Bread with stuff on it with a skewer in the top. And you just take it, put it on your plate, take it, put it on your plate.
Got it.
And they're not cheap on the bread. They're big on the bread. I couldn't get over it. I could not get over it. I was like, this needs to be replicated.
Sometimes when it hits. Today, I was out doing a million errands, and I just texted Chip, and I was like, I need a BLT. And specifically, like I do, like when I do a BLT, I said preheat the oven.
I'm looking at you in this green, army colored, beautiful but like militant sweater with a full Pebbles hairstyle with a leopard print on the top of your head.
So I texted him, I said, I need a BLT, right? And so when I want a BLT, because there's various types of veggie bacon, I want a tempeh bacon. And so I went to the grocery store and I was like, I want a BLT with a lot of lettuce, a seeded bread. I want a slice of extra sharp cheddar on there, lots of lettuce, too much lettuce, and some thin sweet onion.
Banana
Banana pepper. It was just a sandwich. it kept going.
Like the acronym needs to be added to.
It was basically a veggie sandwich with some tempeh bacon on it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I got to do it. And so he did one too. And we both kept looking at each other and we were like, why don't we do this more often?
Yeah, well,
I don't know why I'm turning into a grizzled general.
Audible's best of 2024 picks are here. Discover the year's top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals in all your favorite genres, from memoirs to sci-fi to mysteries and thrillers, from romance and well-being to fiction. Audible's carefully curated list in every category is the best way to hear 2024's best of the year in audio entertainment. Like an almost unbelievably star-studded production of George Orwell's 1984, which both honors and reinvigorates the terrifying classic, it's one of the best original dramatizations we've ever heard, or romance that hits the spot, like Emily Henry's Funny Story, or one of my absolute favorites this year, Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. Please go download it. Audible, there's more to imagine when you listen. Go to audible.com/TMGW and discover all the year's best waiting for you.
Guys, I have the greatest gift that you can give someone this Christmas, and it's not just going to end up being clutter stuffed into someone's closet or secretly donated 6 months later, because no one needs another robe, okay? They just don't. What they need is their brain to keep getting bigger, and they can do that with Masterclass. Oh, Masterclass for your loved ones so they can learn from the best to become their best. If you don't know what this is, you get in there. I've been an actual customer of Masterclass for like 7 years. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best, and that's why Wirecutter calls it an invaluable gift. Gift unlimited learning. Learn from any Masterclass instructor anywhere on a smartphone, a computer, a smart TV, even just in audio mode if you don't feel like watching. Thing is, guys, the talent they get on Masterclass, it truly is masters. This is not like, oh, let's bring in the B Squad. Oh, I'm saying that you can overcome your fears with Amy Poehler, craft a stand-up set with Judd Apatow, turn your passion into achievements with cultural icon Martha Stewart. You guys, I've learned comedy from Steve Martin, directing from Scorsese. These are not small names, you guys. Learn from the best. And the classes really make a difference. 88% of members feel that Masterclass made a positive impact in their lives. You gotta give it a shot. I absolutely want to take 2025 to keep learning, to really grow, to not just doom scroll, but open up my imagination. And Masterclass is definitely the way I'm gonna get there. Plus, there's no risk, okay? Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So give your loved ones a year of learning with Masterclass. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, so sometimes up to as much as 50% off. So head over to masterclass.com/weird for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/weird. Masterclass.com/weird.
I went to the grocery store the other day and bought a bunch of potential Thanksgiving ingredients because we flew back on Thanksgiving Day.
So you weren't even attempting that day.
We like, I think I said in the podcast last week that like the idea was like, if we get back and we are in some weird time stamp that's different, like we'll go to the store and we'll get stuff and we'll make it. We had an amazingly successful travel day. Very different than your guys' travel day.
Also, shout out to Nick, who's listening to this before he posts it, for naming the episode Mamrie Feuds with Benson Boone. I saw it go up and I went, no, we don't need to name the episode that.
We do. We got to clickbait. We got to clickbait a little bit because that's how the kids do it online.
I know, but here's the thing is I'll be like, Nick, you got to change the title. I didn't say that about this one, but sometimes, and then I'll be like, I will say it on the podcast, but for some reason the title feels like, oh, she's doubled down.
Oh, yeah. If you're advertising to people that'll never actually listen.
I didn't know if the little Boondocks or whatever his fans are called were going to come for me.
I don't even know.
Because I was basically just like, this guy's annoying. He's number 8 on the Billboard charts right now.
Yeah, that looks like you did like AI of like Julian Jenna
Marble's husband. Yeah.
said, yeah, he's of the algorithm of a guy that looks like this, that sings like this, that would annoy you on a travel day.
For sure. Sorry. Okay. So anyway,
we came back. We ordered Chinese food. We were tired. We just did that.
Love it.
We like lazed in. But I'm seeing your Palm Springs Thanksgiving.
I made so much food. It was stupid.
It looks so great.
Here's the thing: is I took what I think are the annoying things and outsourced. So like turkey, I got it. You watch the Great American Barbecue Showdown on Netflix.
Yeah.
I got it. My turkey, I pre-ordered it from Bloodsoes.
Nice.
The king.
But also you're vegetarian, so it's like, why? Who are you to make turkey?
It's more
for
a matter
everyone?
of if you're like cooking for 10 people, turkey's taking up half the oven.
Yeah.
So I got that pre-made, and then you just had to like warm it up.
Nice.
Got my mac and cheese from him.
Nice.
Jacqueline did some things. My friend Brenda did the stuffing. I went a different route. I didn't make sweet potato casserole, which I normally did, because here's why. Between the mashed potatoes, the sweet potato casserole, broccoli casserole, green, whatever, it's just I get no texture on my plate.
It's all it's slops.
So let me tell you what I did.
What?
I got little like baby yams, like little guys.
Yeah.
Roasted them the night before, had them cooled. Sliced them in half. Butter, brown butter, seared them, so they had a little like crunchy. Flipped them, butter on top, brown sugar, crumbled sage, nuts. So it was like a brulee, but everyone got their own little yam.
Do you know this woman has a cookbook for
cookbook
pre-sale?
I'm just saying, I was like, I want one thing on my Thanksgiving table that I have to use a knife for.
Yeah, of course. There you
Never
go.
going back. Sorry. This is when you have a martini and record at 7 p.m. But so, yeah, we made a lot of food. It was really great.
It looked great, but also the tablescape looked great.
Okay.
Because I was like, I saw on Jacqueline's story, I was like, oh, hell yeah, table runner and some flowers and some real candles lit. That scares the shit out of me.
Here's the thing, though. I went and like bought like cheap stuff. You get one. It was like $6, like a velvet table runner.
Yeah.
Scroosh it up.
Yeah.
I got some candlesticks. They're not down there whenever you need them.
Nice.
Little candle holders. I forgot how just lighting some candles and eating by candlelight makes you feel rich.
It is, rich, and like also that you live in the 1200s.
It was more like I looked around and I was like, I'm sorry, are we the Jenners? I just was like, look at us eating by candlelight.
Just a handful of billionaires.
Meanwhile, one person went like, can we turn on some more lights? I was like, you don't want to eat in complete darkness.
You don't want to watch this wax
8
strip
candlelights
on this $6 fabric?
well, that's the perfect thing too, is like you don't have to worry about stuff dripping.
No, exactly.
I was very proud of my tablescape. Very proud.
Looked great.
I felt like I was throwing an adult one. You know, we did like a whole thing of starters that were gorgeous. Like Jacqueline did her like sausage stuffed mushrooms. I did the cheese ball from my book. I did the olives from my book.
Nice.
We did a lot of like fun little dips and things. And then we had a respectable dinner at like 5:00.
Oh,
but it was
that's late.
Dark.
Yeah.
So we had the candlelights. We did the hot tub. It was a nice time. But I will tell you, and I told you already, it was like off camera, I was like, oh, right. We did the tour. Then I had like 3 days. Then I hosted 10 people for 3 days. And we did the crab boil the night before. Like Chip did that, which is just so fun.
It's a lot.
And then came back, had like a day, and I've just been go, go, go. And then yesterday I did After Midnight.
Yeah.
Which was like, I forgot. Like, we used to do that show all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So full context. And also.
Yeah, give them some context.
Let's go long. We're not even going long. It's like, this is what normal podcasting is. Because we'll go for an hour and I'll see everyone on YouTube be like, the girls blessed us this week with an hour conversation. I'm like, yeah, we would love to if we have that much shit to talk about. So at midnight, for you guys that don't know, because we started podcasting after you and I had ever like really done any
I guess
midnight.
You're right.
So there's like a whole world.
Wow.
So I forget that there's a whole era of chaos media stuff that we have done that we had never had the chance to weekly kind of digest on a podcast.
I did not like assess that timeline.
Yeah. So at midnight was, how would you even describe it? It's like this fake comedy game show.
So it was on Comedy Central for a long time, hosted by Chris Hardwick. And it is essentially A game show where like the rules are very loose and he would just dole out points based on what he thought was funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of the games were centered around, or most of them around the internet. So that's why it's the @SimpleMidnight. It would come on right at midnight. And there would be like, you know, a section called hashtag wars where you just make puns. There would be like react to this clip. It's all like what's viral right now, and then having comedians go head to head to like make jokes about it.
Yeah, it was like a perfect vehicle to highlight comedians being funny.
Yeah.
Because comedians have to be funny on all these platforms. Let's bring them into this quote game show and allow them to be funny in real time, and then also to interact with each other.
And me and you did it so many times.
Yeah, I feel like there's like, I mean, I at least 7, 8, 9 times. I don't even know.
I did it a million times. And I also remember when we did it for Camp Dakota, it was the first time they had
3 women.
3 women.
And it was their highest watched episode.
So suck on that. I don't know. Everyone's very supportive.
Who are we mad at?
I don't know who the haters are.
But
I don't know.
so Taylor Tomlinson has now
it's on CBS.
It's been resurrected. It's on CBS. She is the host of it. It's been going on for a while now.
It's called After Midnight because obviously they have like Colbert and stuff. So it goes on at like 12:30.
Yeah.
Instead of, I guess, well, maybe it was later. Maybe it was James Corden. I don't know. But it's a late ass show. So like I recorded it. I haven't watched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, people are staying up real late to watch it in real time. But yeah, she took it over, and it's very similar. It's a lot more laid back.
Oh, really?
Like we did a couch segment.
Oh.
Where we like go, and here's the thing. It's an hour, not a half an hour.
Okay.
So you are performing in front of the audience for a lot longer.
Longer. Oh, so you're okay. So you're
because
making
the show is cut into an hour instead of half an hour,
which is like 40 minutes, 45, 42 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the vibes were elite.
Oh, that's great.
But I was nervous because I haven't been in that kind of like performance in a long time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, they were like, would you like to do it? I was like, absolutely. And then I was like, oh God. I mean, I'm talking about like on Saturday, I get home from like hosting for 3 days. Chip and I, we got home at like noon and then immediately like ordered lunch, didn't leave the couch, ordered dinner from the couch, did not leave the couch. Like one of those. And I just said to him, I was like, oh God. Like, I just have to get through Monday. Like, I had anxiety about it. Also started my period that morning. Like, it was a perfect storm.
There's a lot, because it's also like...
It's a lot of pressure to be funny. That you know what's going on national television.
That's what I mean. Like, it's different than us doing our podcast in a safe space with you guys. That feels like we know what we're entering into.
And it's also another one. I mean, luckily, it was cool because... I knew one of the panelists, Kurt Bronneler, like I've known him a long time, but it's not like we like hang out one-on-one. Right. So like it's still, we're both doing it. And another very funny comedian, Opie. But it's always stand-ups. And even though you and I do live shows and we stand up and say jokes into a mic, it's different when you're dealing with people who have like hours and hours of material they've performed millions and millions of times, and you get a little nervous. And as soon as I got on that stage, I was like, fucking got this.
Really? Oh, that's great.
And that felt good. That felt good.
Yeah, you're like, I'm fucking funny and I can hold my own. Because that is honestly...
I won.
Well, I was going to say spoiler, but it's already aired.
It's aired, and it's also a pointless game. You don't actually win anything.
But that's your strong suit. Your strong suit is live IRL interactions, comedic back and forth, boom, 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 versus like, I'm coming with prepared jokes for everything.
Right, totally. So it was good, but it was definitely like, and I didn't realize too, in the timeline, Chip came with 2 of our friends from Bar Rescue, because he was like, well, I want to go watch you.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't want you to have to, because sometimes you get to those live taping things and it's like, what gate do I go in and where do I go? And so I said, well, bring somebody. So at least like you're in that adventure together, because I'm going to be there like 2 hours before you need to be there. And so it's so funny. They were on like the VIP list so they could just get in, you know, because it's a small studio audience. And I go and, you know, they're leading us through and we go onto the stage and we like walk through everything and they tell us when stuff will come up and like, don't look down and like, this is your camera for close-ups and all that jazz. And then they take you back to now a communal green room with the other comedians while they load in the audience. And so we go back.
Which is so different because at midnight you are literally like gladiators sequestered in your own rooms. Writers come in, talk to you about the jokes that work, and then you are all put out there.
No.
As soon as
this
it goes
was great.
live.
You like had little like a pre-meeting where they just like kind of walk you through and show you like examples of the game, how it's been played before.
Fun.
So you have context. But so I go back to that green room and I walk in and it's the 15 minutes before the show and there's Chip and our two friends on the couch and I lock eyes with him. He goes, I told them you didn't want us backstage. And I go, no, it's okay. And he goes, I told him, we said, hey, I think we're on the list. And they said, follow us. And they brought us to the green room. And he goes, hey, man, I think you've made a mistake. I know she does not want us back here. And I was like, I would like for you to leave, but I love you. But yeah, no, I don't need them back here. Because, you know, I'm in like pre-show mode of like nervous.
Oh, of course.
And then all of a sudden you walk in with the other comedians and you've got guests there and no one else does. It killed me. It was so funny. He goes, I told him we did not need to do that. And they said, no, you're VIP. And he was like, we don't need to do this. But anyway, so he came with me and like a car service back home. And he was like, I didn't know what to expect. That was so cool and fun. And I was like, oh, right. You were also post at midnight.
Yeah.
So like he's never seen me like perform in that specific of a thing as well. So it was a cool Monday.
Very cool.
It was, but I came home. Well, we actually went out to dinner and I like ate so much pasta and pizza and it was perfect. But I came home and I was like, hey, I'm about to get drunk.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting drunk tonight, babe. It's a Monday.
I've earned it.
I forgot what this type of like adrenaline dump is.
Yeah.
It's so
huge.
low, but it's also like in the scheme of things, it's low stakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like, it's not something you do regularly. So if it was like, I look at Taylor hosting that and I'm like, wow, that is amazing that she does that. Cause that is so much stress. It's so much effort. It's a daily, like I have to show up every day.
Yeah.
And I love having days where I don't have to show up for anyone or do anything.
Me too.
And so when I see someone like that doing that, I have nothing but kudos for them. But it is exhausting to go and be a person on that program and be like, whoa, I'm putting all my effort into this. Like, I'm showing up.
She was great. She was great. I thought I'd been blackballed. Because I think I told you this because like before they started a year ago, they asked if I would come and do like practice rounds.
Oh.
So for Taylor to like start like just getting acquainted. And I was like in Napa and they wanted me to come 2 days later. And I was like, is it airing? Like, I'm supposed to be up here for another week. I'm not leaving. Because I was like taking the W set, like the test and stuff. And I was like, oh, no. Like if it's not going to actually be on TV.
I don't want to put myself through that stress.
I don't want to and also like leave a very beautiful environment to go like do this. And so then they didn't ask me the whole first season.
Oh,
and so I was
I've
just like, I'm blackballed. This was the first time I've been asked.
I did like 12 episodes of the original at midnight.
Same.
I've never been.
No, you know why I got asked? They asked Kurt who people he'd want to be on. And then he texted me and he was like, I had no idea you haven't done the new one when I brought you up. And I was like, well, thank you, Kurt.
It's one of those shows that's like, I don't know who's watching it.
No, but it was fun to do. And then also, let me tell you, and I don't know his last name, but the warm-up comic there, his name was Percy. And he was like, after the show, he was like, oh, my friends are big fans of you guys. I've never seen a warm-up comic go so hard. We were backstage before it started, and we have the cameras up in like the green room.
Yeah.
I just know this from watching it.
Yeah.
He's dancing with a huge spoon and fork.
Nice.
Just starts on a big placemat, comes up. He's doing turns. He's like the Nutcracker. I look at someone and I go, is he doing a routine to be our guest from
Beauty and the Beast?
And they were like, yes. We're out there between like bits. He comes out as the Grinch.
Yep. Great.
Rips it off, Grinch in a thong.
Yeah.
And starts like dancing to Meg the Stallion. I thought I've never seen a warm-up comic earned their fucking pay as much as this guy. So anyway, sorry. Shout out to Percy.
Warm up comics really fucking go the extra mile.
But also, it's like what's the term? Not an unthanked.
Oh, like unknown hero. Like it's like someone that you'll never see.
Mm-hmm.
But they like a crowd is now warm when you watch the show that you're watching
because
they
Percy,
are warmed up by
because Percy did the fucking Mean Girls Santa baby dressed as the Grinch in a thong. That's what they saw before. I looked at Kurt and I was like, now I have to tell jokes. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. Now I have to tell a dumb joke.
I mean, it is truly a thankless job, but also ridiculously important to the space at hand.
Absolutely. It's the amuse-bouche. It's the appetizer to the meal.
Oh yeah, they get the audience in such a silly, comfortable mood that they can watch the rest of this absolute absurdity and act accordingly. Crazy.
You know it.
Absolutely crazy.
So anyway, I had a good time, but I was like, what year is it?
Yeah.
It really, because we just toured and then that happened and I was like, is it 2016?
I know.
This is interesting. I love it.
Yeah. It's a lot of familiarity, but new.
Nostalgia. In real
but new.
time. Should we go?
We should go. I will end on this. I don't know if you saw the New York Times word of the year. Not really word. It's 2 words. Brain rot.
It was the opening bit of After Midnight last night.
Was it? I mean, it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Or Oxford, I'm sorry.
It's not Oxford, the Merriam-Webster? I'm sorry. I'm American.
Sorry. This is New York Times reporting that Oxford's 2024 word of the year is brain rot, which I would argue is not a word, but 2, is a phrase, rather. And their description, I was like, what does this actually mean? Quote, supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, particularly stemming from overconsumption of trivial online content.
Yeah, so that was the opener last night where Taylor was like, so it's the log line of our show.
Oh, it's the log line of our entire existence.
No, she said for After Midnight, but us too. So you want to hear what my joke was?
No, what?
They're like, contestants, how do you know that you have suffered from brain rot this year? And my joke was, and it's relevant because it's also a sponsor this week. I said, I just downloaded a master class taught by the Huck to a girl.
Excellent.
I do feel like I've had brain rot. Maybe like one example is we're in the middle of a conversation and I looked into a light and said I left my magic
vibrator,
wand.
In Palm Springs.
I think everyone at that Best Buy had brain rot.
Yeah, including me. So it's like I've deteriorated. Come on now.
Yeah, but you have a reason.
Supposedly. That's the fun
you
thing
better
for
keep
me.
milking it. You better keep milking it.
The fun thing for me is I get the excuse of cancer or just overuse of internet. No one really knows.
Or COVID. Cancer or COVID.
Cancer, COVID, overuse of internet. No one really knows what my brain rot is actually from. But I will say it is ever present in the way I live my life.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm a much bigger fan of the term rotting in bed than brain rot.
Yeah.
Why is rot so hot?
Rot is hot.
Rot is currently pretty hot.
So I'm curious about, we've gone so far, like there's this wellness sort of pendulum, and now we're going into this like rat boy, rot, like let's...
Did you hear about Sabrina Carpenter's rat boy?
No, why?
They broke up. He apparently cheated on her.
Oh, what does that make him? Not a rat?
Dirty rat.
A dirty rat, not a hot rat. He's a dirty rat and not a hot rat anymore. Oh, there's a fine line. There's a fine line.
There's a very, he's a brain rat.
Well, that sucks.
Sorry.
For her.
Sorry, you were mid-coma.
I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be okay.
No, she'll be fine, but people are just shooketh.
Ugh. Well,
because he's not conventionally hot.
Wait, is
he's
that hot? Is that Gahua guy?
Haktua?
No. Who's her Ben Klu?
I truly don't know if you're having a seizure.
Sabrina Carpenter, boyfriend. Is that what I look up? No, who's that? Ben Call? Yeah, Ben Keegan.
Barry Keegan.
Barry Call.
No,
that's how I pronounce
his name is Barry Keoghan. And you said,
but you got Call.
I still don't know what is happening.
Because GH, you can pronounce like a sound. Okay, I'm thinking tough. Tough, T-O-U-G-H.
Oh, no, I think it's Barry Keoghan. He's very Irish.
Well, it says Barry Keoghan has the sweetest response to Sabrina. No, that's 3 weeks ago. Okay. Oh, no. Sabrina Carpenter and boyfriend Barry Keoghan officially. Oh, man. Also, side note, Elliot, speaking of Irish, Elliot and I watched a documentary on our flight home that was about Kneecap. Oh,
like the body part?
No, Kneecap, the Irish rap group that people were telling us to play in our show when we went out to Dublin, and it was very interesting.
Okay.
And I am fascinated, but I hear mixed reviews of these guys.
Should I listen to them or should I watch the documentary?
The documentary, it was like a biopic. How do you say biopic?
Honey,
biopic?
I've never learned
because that one time, the one time when we hosted the Just for Laughs gala, and they're like, Grace, you have to come back out and re-say this line that has biopic in it. It
must be biopic.
Hundreds of people. I was like, did I say it wrong? I have no idea how I said it.
It must be biopic.
I hate saying it. Anyway.
Okay.
Biopic.
Well, you can't say Keoghan. Everyone's turning in there. Everyone is watching this because I'm also mispronouncing it. Everyone hates it right now.
Regardless, Kneecap was an interesting and fascinating documentary to watch, and they seem kind of cool. But then we talked to our friend that lives out there, and he's like, they're kind of assholes.
Okay.
And so it's like,
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been listening to the Kendrick Lamar album, and have you been randomly screaming the word mustard?
No, but that's an Elliot question. He's more into that.
It's great. And also, I put mustard on my BLT, and it was fabulous.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
That went over my head back there. I'll pick it up. I'll put it back here.
People who've heard Kendrick Lamar, they will get that, and they will love it.
Well, you know who's going to love this? An hour-long episode pre-ads. Oh, my God.
Chip will. My sweet baby Chip will do it.
I know. When I got here, Chip was leaving in his truck.
Well, because I was supposed to go meet him for drinks, and I was like, babe, I'm not meeting y'all. Grace forgot the cord. She's been at Best Buy for half an hour.
I've been in the zoo of Best Buy trying to get them to open the monkey cage to give me the cords.
Okay, well, here's what I will say.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week when we finally discuss Wicked.
Oh, because I got to watch it first.
No, I haven't seen it. I just want to talk about
books. Slap, slap, slap. Turn, turn.
Well, guess who did that? A man named Percy dressed as the Grinch. I saw him practicing when we were getting the walkthrough from the director. I said, excuse me, Percy, are you doing that book part from Wicked? He goes, yeah, did you love it? I go, I only know about the book dance. He was like,
walk, slap, 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 and spin, spin,
I said, are
spin.
you doing the bow and yang? But next week, we need to talk about Wicked, if we care.
Because, Elliot told me the funniest thing that when you look at...
this podcast is never
ending. When you look at... Cynthia and
Ariana
Ariana in their interviews, the internet has said that they look like a couple in a meeting about their IVF journey. The way they hold each other.
See, but if you listen,
they literally they're holding each other so tightly, like they are about to hear the story of their lives.
Listen, no, my favorite one that I saw, because if you listen to them and how much they like ramble, someone said, and I'm not gonna like quote it right, that they look like a homeless couple who loves the same drug, and that's the only reason why they're together is because it makes it cheaper for them to get that drug. And if you really listen, it's crazy. We're covering too much. Next week, Wicked. Do you care?
Should we just cover the press tour and not the content of Wicked itself? Because everyone's going off about Wicked. The press tour around it is more what happened to SpongeBob?
He's still there, but here's the thing.
Their PR team has pushed him way, way down, and that's an interesting thing.
Well, here's the thing, which I didn't know.
This podcast is never going to end.
Here's the thing, which I didn't know, is did you know that Cynthia is with Lena Waithe?
Yeah, they've been for years.
And yeah, but Lena was married when they got together.
Oh, yeah.
So now we have the two leads of a movie called Wicked. I don't know the context. Everything is through a different lens. People have their own stories. Marriages are over before they're over, but they can't have little SpongeBob, little redhead popping up there.
Yeah.
His name, I think, is Bach in the movie. B-O-Q.
Perfect. Yep.
He can't pop his head up because then it's going to remind everyone.
Yeah.
And we need...
They need them to clutch each other to remember that this is just about them.
We need to be popular.
And then there's that other guy with Jeff Goldblum that everyone's losing their mind off.
Oh my God, people are losing their mind.
Who is that and what's going on? I've never sounded older in my life.
He's from Bridgerton.
Oh, well,
and a couple other things, and he's very like hunky and very like
because everyone's like get
him in every movie
and resurrect rom-coms with this guy is what I've seen.
All right,
which there is 2 holiday movies that we should probably watch. Well, maybe bonus on our Patreon or something.
Okay, I was gonna ask, should we do the Lindsay Lohan one and review it?
And then there's a Chad Michael Murray one where he's a holiday stripper. Obviously cinematic, important film.
Yeah, but have you seen the clip where they couldn't afford an actual ice skating rink and
are they pretending to ice skate? No, I haven't, but I can imagine.
There's a clip where it's like clearly just like like an outdoor like parking lot, and he does like 4 strides and then they're at the fence. He's like, whoo, and like no one's wearing skates. He's wearing tennis shoes.
All right, we have to go.
Listen,
I'm going to be like, Nick, sorry we recorded so late. And also, it's the longest episode we've ever recorded for no real reason.
Let me leave you with this. Next week, I'm going to tell you about, here's a preview.
Okay.
I went and got some keys made for our Palm Springs house last week. And while I was at the very gay Ace Hardware, I call it Gay's Hardware.
Gay's Hardware, yeah.
I heard stories about Tina Turner and Cyndi Lauper and their pets. I'll leave you with that.
Okay, well, ... on that. Holy shit.
This got weird.
Yep.